What if I told you that the reason you're still stuck, despite all the vision boards, the affirmations, the inner work, isn't because you're broken, but because there's a missing piece that even the masters of manifestation didn't understand for 50 years? Today, I'm sitting down with the woman Jack Canfield calls the missing link in transformational work. And what she's about to share will change everything you thought you knew about creating the life your soul is calling you toward. I'm Jessica Rooks, and welcome to Awaken Your Authentic Self. Loves, I am so deeply honored to welcome Dr. Lise Janelle to our sacred space today. Dr. Lise is a peak performance and results expert, acclaimed author, and the creator of the Heart Freedom Method, a revolutionary approach to dissolving subconscious blocks that has transformed the lives of thousands of high-achieving athletes, entrepreneurs, and spiritual seekers worldwide. Now, what makes Dr. Lise's work so extraordinary is this. She's bridging the gap between conscious desire and subconscious belief. You know that gap, right? Where you know what you want, you're doing all the right things, but somehow you're still not creating the life your heart is calling you toward. With over 22 years of experience as a coach and a unique background as a holistic chiropractor, Dr. Lise understands the mind-body-soul connection at the deepest level. And here's what gives me chills. Jack Canfield, the co-creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul and author of The Success Principles, personally asked her to co-author a book with him because he said her heart freedom method is, quote, the missing link I had been looking for 50 years of doing transformational work. Dr. Lise has facilitated over 126,000 sessions. She's helped clients break through blocks in business, abundance, love, and self-worth. She's climbed Kilimanjaro, conquered the Swiss Alps, and been a champion rower. But what I love most is that she walked away from being in the top 10% of earners as a chiropractor in Canada to answer her soul's calling to help others break free. Dr. Lise, welcome to the show. I am so grateful that you are here.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm very grateful to be there and get an opportunity to share this work that I'm very passionate about to bring into the world, because once people understand it, it's not because they are unlucky or born under, the wrong star that they cannot get what they want. People can get their heart's calling as long as they understand, the missing link, which is the subconscious mind.
Ooh, what a beginning to this episode. I love it. So let's get started. Dr. Lise, I want to start here because this is something our community needs to understand at a soul level. Jack Canfield said that your heart freedom method is the missing link he'd been searching for in 50 years of transformational work. For our community of spiritual seekers who read Think and Grow Rich, who've done the vision boards, who worked with the law of attraction but still feel blocked, what's actually missing? Why does conscious effort alone keep us stuck in the same patterns?
hmm the movie The Secret, the book The Secret. I was actually there when they shot the movie
Ooh,
because, it was so cool to be part of it. But I could have been in the movie if I'd put my name on the list. I was too new in the group. I didn't even go for it. But now I know better. The missing link is, and it's so important. Like the beauty of Think and Grow Rich and The Secret and all of these things, the manifestation is clarity is of the utmost importance. Without clarity, you cannot get what you wanted. When you're really clear, because you feel an alignment between your heart, your mind, and your actions. Everything aligns, and then you become unstoppable. But what most people don't understand is that 90 to 95% of what we do is actually pre-programmed in our subconscious mind.
right.
And our subconscious mind is there to keep us alive. It's a mechanism there to, so we won't die. So it constantly scans our environment to see what's safe and what's not safe.
Okay.
And when what we want subconsciously is aligned with this is dangerous for you, it won't let you have it. I'm going to give you an extreme example of that. Like
Perfect.
I had an Olympic level athlete come to see me. So obviously, if you're an Olympic level athlete, you want to win. Consciously, obviously, you want to win. But doing the heart freedom method with her, I tested her and I'm ready, willing, and able to win. She was an Olympic level skier. I forgot to say that. So she was an Olympic level skier and she had not placed in 2 years. So I tested her on I'm ready, willing, able to win. And lo and behold, subconsciously, she didn't want to. Why?
Hmm.
And when you do the heart freedom method, it takes 10 minutes. It's not a long, drawn out process. And what we discovered was that when she was 7 years old, she was already winning, but her brothers were not. So her mom,
Mm.
not to upset her brothers, was hiding her trophies and her medals,
Wow.
not to upset the brothers. So now she had associated subconsciously that when I win, I make other people feel poorly.
Wow.
Wow. So now, as an adult, when you are racing, you know about Pavlov's dog. You bring
Yes.
food to the dog salivate, you ring a bell. And after all, you don't need to bring food. You just need to ring the bell for the dog to salivate. Well, the same thing happens with us. So a Pavlovian bell would ring for her when she was with competitors or even her teammates. So subconsciously, she did not want to upset other people by winning.
Oh.
So anyway, we had 2 sessions together and she ended up on the podium. And after that, she said she got a lot luckier all of a sudden. So that's why it's important. It's the missing link in all of those things. And the worst is that what I've seen with my own life and my clients' life is the more you affirm something that subconsciously it's too dangerous, the more it backfires actually.
Right.
And so people get discouraged and they start and they realize, it's interesting. In some areas of my life, it works. And in some areas of my life, it doesn't work. So you might not be an Olympic level skier, but whatever you desire, whatever it's in your business, in your love life, in your health, in your social grace, and like anything that you want, if subconsciously it means that, you're going to get hurt or you're going to hurt other people, then you're going to hold yourself back. And that's why it's important to know about. That's why I'm passionate about this, because I feel so sad, especially for driven people who really want to live a great life, when
Right.
they don't get what they want, and then after a while they stop asking and going after what they want, because why should I try? I'm just not going to get it.
Wow, that is so powerful, because what you're describing it really is something I see all the time in our community. Many high achievers, many high achievers in our community, they've left corporate success to pursue spiritual awakening.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they find themselves recreating the same achievement driven patterns in their
Uh-huh.
spiritual journey,
Uh-huh.
collecting certifications, chasing the next healing modality, seeking
Mm-hmm.
external validation through their spiritual identity. How does the
Yes.
heart freedom method help us to distinguish between ego driven spiritual seeking and authentic heart centered living?
That's such a good question. Well, as you said, like I've done over 126,000 sessions of doing mind body work. So after a while, you start seeing patterns. If you don't, you're in trouble.
Exactly.
So,
After 126,000, yes.
so what I discover is there are basically 2 stages to human development. The first stage, I call that the unconscious, asleep, infantile stage. And stage 2 is the conscious, awake, and mature stage. And the difference between stage 1 and stage 2 is that stage 1 comes from trying to get the world to react to us in a way that will make us feel worthy.
Okay.
So, and how does that start? Like when we were born, each one of us, when we were born, love has to come from the outside.
Right.
It can, without mom and dad or some caregiver, you're going to die.
Right.
So that's the divine, joke played on us, because now we get focused on manipulating the outside world to give us what we want.
Mm.
And when the world around us reacts in the way that we want, we go, wow, I'm queen or king of the world. I can have anything I want. But when the world is too busy with their own pain, their own drama, whatever they're working on, and we don't get the results, then we start creating story. What's wrong with me?
Right.
And the first time, like often what I found with myself and my clients is that when we were born, often we were taken away from mom and we were put in a nursery on a feeding schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be crying and crying and crying because, you've been through a very scary event. You went from being in peace and love in your mom's womb, and all of a sudden, how hell broke loose.
Right.
And then it's scary and you want to be with mommy, but they would put us away.
Right.
And so you could cry and cry. So at first you cry and cry and cry, and nobody comes. So you cry and cry and cry and cry. And now you start creating story like, what's wrong with me? Why is it nobody's coming right now?
Mm.
Then you cry and cry and cry and cry and cry some more. And it hurts so much to cry and ask for what we want and nobody come. We stop asking.
Right.
So we go through life wanting things, but having ceilings in different areas of our life because we are afraid of asking. So that's why I said clarity is super important. Sometimes we won't allow ourselves to have clarity in some areas of our life. And in some parts of our life, we won't. And our heart wants us to know two things. The first thing your heart wants you to know is you're worthy of love.
Right.
And to do the subconscious work, because we have plenty of opportunities to create stories that something is wrong with us when the world did not react to us,
Right.
the way we wanted. The second thing our heart wants us to do is admit our dreams and aspirations. So can you see that right from the get-go, we have many opportunities to create stories that block us. But I am convinced it's part of the divine design, because what I am convinced of is that our essence is love.
Right. I
We
do
are
believe that.
connected to God. But I have a meditation I do. It's called the Heart Freedom Meditation. People can download it. It's free, heartfreedommeditation.com. When you do it, you end up in your heart. And when you're in your heart, fully in your heart, people feel safe. People feel abundant.
Yes.
They feel like nothing is missing. So you have no desire. You know the Buddhist principle of having no desire?
Right.
Well, when you're in that state, that's really what it's all about. It's you feel so complete. So we have to forget our divine nature by having this experience right from the beginning. Because otherwise, can you imagine billions of people, little Buddhas under the Buddha tree with no desire? We couldn't function on planet Earth.
Absolutely not.
So we have to forget that. And then we use pain as a driver. Like, I'm in pain, I can't get what I want, and it drives us. But I believe it's divinely designed for us, just for us. Like all the support and challenges you've had, the yin and the yang, support and challenge, it was perfect for us.
Right.
It was our guide to help us develop our personality, to get us to have talents, people in our entourage, the interests that we have, all of these things, we develop them in stage one. I call the stage one also the boot camp.
Okay.
So I created another metaphor. Like there are three types of boot camps. Some people were born into an easy boot camp. I call that the musical boot camp. You go there and life is easy and it's nice. But when you graduate from that boot camp, you're not really equipped for life, because life is not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not.
So now
That wasn't my boot camp.
that was not your boot camp. So then other people are born into what I call the athletic boot camp. You win, you lose, you get, plenty of opportunity. They're getting bruised, but through that, you have the opportunity of making yourself stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And I use a metaphor that really helps with that too. It's like, you may have heard it before. One day, a scientist was observing a butterfly coming out of a cocoon, and it's a huge struggle. It takes hours and hours and hours. So to be nice to the butterfly, he cuts the cocoon open. But by doing this, the butterfly has nothing to struggle against. The wings are weak. It can never fly. And it dies like that.
Oh.
So that's why it's so important to become grateful and become like little detective. Like, why did I need this challenge? What was it going to force me to do that I would not have done otherwise to compensate for the challenge? And then I have what I call people graduate from the Navy SEAL boot camp.
I think that was mine.
You and me. So all the powerful people I know in the world either had at least number two or often number three. And when we survive Hell Week, we graduate superheroes. And then we have the ability to have a bigger impact in the world. So just like someone who goes to a boot camp, nothing is wrong with you because you went to a musical one, an athletic one, or a Navy SEAL. It's just a boot camp. It has nothing to do with your worth. And if you love yourself, you're going to become really curious and see, like, why did I need this specific boot camp?
Right.
Because in the question, now you are looking at the clues as to part of what your mission in life is. So people usually come and see me because either they lost their spouse or they lost their money, they lost their career, their health, something is happening, there's a crisis happening in their life, and they go, you know what, I've been living this way, it's not working for me, there's got to be another way.
Right.
Or if they're lucky, they listen to an interview like this and they use inspiration. They go, this sounds good. I'm not going to wait for the baseball bat.
Right.
And then we start on the quest to become conscious. So the difference between stage one, where we look to the outside world to tell us our worth, which will never work because people are too busy. It's not anybody's job to, stop everything they're doing to give us what we want.
Right.
So in stage two, what we do, we use again the yin and the yang. So the yin is listening to your heart, and then the yang is taking action. So in stage two, we get a sense of self from connecting and giving our heart what it wants. Instead of trying to manipulate the outside world to make us feel worthy, we connect with our own heart and we go on a super journey. I call that the ultimate game of life. And it's a total different experience. Like stage one is the boot camp or hell on earth. And
Mm-hmm.
stage two, I call that creating heaven on earth. So my job with doing the heart freedom method is to help my clients disconnect from the illusions that's made them feel that something was wrong with them, but guided them into the perfect place. And now they can empower themselves to have clarity of mission without the subconscious block that gets in the way. And that's the path to enlightenment. This is how we let go. For me, every time we have a story, it's like having duct tape on our light. And every time you do the heart freedom method, you just get rid of more duct tape so your light can shine brighter into the world.
Oh, I love that. I love the work that you do, Dr. Lise. I'm just going to throw that out there right now.
Thank you.
Now, you mentioned that your clients are often trapped in soul crushing cycles of shoulds,
Yes.
doing what they think is right, but feeling empty inside. For sensitive souls and empaths who have spent their lives absorbing others' expectations, what's the actual subconscious cost? And how do we begin to hear our heart's true calling when the noise of conditioning is so loud?
Yeah, it's by waking up from stage one. And whenever we are oversensitive to other people around us, it's because we would love someone to come and take care of us.
Save us a little bit.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
save us from the pain that we experience. So that's number one. And number two is not understanding how the pain we faced, just like the struggle of the butterfly, was actually perfect for me. So people often ask me, how do you do it, Lise? You sit with people, they come to see you, they have these big challenges, and I go, it's easy because the human part of me has, empathy for them.
Right.
But the spiritual part of me knows and understands that without a shadow of a doubt, everything that was happening for them, not to them. So when we want to try to stop things from happening to the people around us, we often just are preventing them from getting the lesson that's going to help them drive themselves to get the results they want out of life. So, you know, making a difference in the world is important, but I think the best way we can make a difference in the world is by listening to our heart and unfolding our highest potential, because I believe that's our mission in life, is to look at all the different parts of ourselves and bring the best out of ourselves in our career, finances, our relationship, our health, like when in your environment, in your friends, in your spiritual life, when you look at all the different areas of your life, when you get focused on bringing the best out of yourself, then you can truly manifest a life that will empower the people around you. You can pull them up with you. When we are happy and fulfilling our life, people get attracted to us. People want
Yes.
to hang around us. They get inspired to do the work. That's the best thing we can do.
This is bringing up so much for me. And I know our community is definitely feeling this too. Dr. Lise, there's something I want to explore with you about that liminal space.
Mhm.
You talk about breaking the insanity loop, that cycle where we're driven by fear and conditioned responses, even
Mhm.
as we're awakening.
Mhm.
I'm curious about something many in our community experience, the paradox, where spiritual awakening actually creates more confusion and less motivation. They see through old structures but don't know how to move forward. What's
Mhm.
actually happening in the subconscious during this liminal space, and how does your method help people to navigate it?
Yeah, well, that's the specialty of the heart freedom method. You have three clues that you have a subconscious belief working against you. So it's very important for those of you listening right now that you know that, so that way you won't beat yourself up and you're going to go, aha, I got a subconscious belief right now working against me right now that's trying to keep me safe. But I don't need to be safe. I need to self actualize. So, clue number one, you know what needs to be done, but you're not doing it. You know that if you picked up the phone to call this big clients, it could change your life, but instead you check your social media, you go for a run, or you eat a bag of cookies.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
So, clue number two is you do what needs to be done, but it feels like drudgery. Writing this report instead of taking you an hour takes you three. So, it's more exhausting. And that's okay if it's just a report. But what if you have a big career thing that you're doing, but in it lasts 3 years? So, for 3 years, you constantly have to fight the inner drive to protect yourself. Because, relatively speaking, your conscious mind that wants something is the size of a football, and the subconscious mind, the football field.
Okay.
So can you see the expenditure of energy that happens? So people who are driven in life, they will often push and push and push and push. And that's why it feels like drudgery. It's like, "Ugh, I'm really inspired to do this, but my goodness, it's taking forever and
Right.
it's exhausting. And am I really supposed to be doing this? Well, if it's truly your heart speaking, yes, you're supposed to do it, but you need some help. You need to get rid of the subconscious belief that's holding you back.
Right.
The third clue that you have a subconscious belief working against you, and that one is really upsetting to people who are conscious into self actualization, is you follow the recipe, you do everything the gurus tell you to do, but you get the opposite results to what you want. And that is discouraging.
That's discouraging. Absolutely.
That's very discouraging. That's why I was talking about before, people do affirmation, they sit down, they write their goals, they know we're going to be the beginning of the year soon, and you do your affirmation or your intention for the year,
Your New
but
Year's resolutions, right?
yeah, and it doesn't work.
Hmm.
And it's not because you're not supposed to have them, is you're supposed to go, aha, I need to do the heart freedom method. I need to free myself from this belief because it's exhausting me and it's in the way and it's preventing me from getting what I want as fast as I want to get it.
Subconscious fear of actually getting what it is that you want.
Yeah, because it's dangerous.
Right.
Like in relationship, for example, in a romantic relationship, I have a podcast called Soul Where They Love, and the subtitle is where we explore that love is safe, and if it's not safe, it's not love.
Oh,
Because love is the safest thing in the world. But when I coach clients, most people are afraid of having a relationship because we have associated when we were little kids watching our mom and dad, and if they did not have a good relationship, you decide, I don't want this. This is too scary. It hurts too much. And if you're a little girl and you watch your mommy, and your mommy seems to be at the mercy of a dangerous man to be happy, so subconsciously you make yourself this promise, but your heart still wants to love, and then you wonder why you're unlucky in love. Or if you're a man and you look at your father and you go, wow, when you're a man and you're with a woman, I'm being stereotypical right now. It's for sure, it's not black and white. I'm just giving you examples. So if
Correct.
you saw your father having to give himself up, to given into mom, so should mom, to make mom happy, does all kinds of things. And as a man, you go, if I'm in a relationship, I'm going to have to give up on who I am to make, my spouse happy. The same thing happens with women as well. Or you can be in a gay relationship. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, these are just patterns that we associate. And the thing we all want deep down is to love.
Mm-hmm.
But when subconsciously you have associated love with all these patterns, it's like, like I was working with a couple of weeks ago, and when she grew up, like she would see her mom in tears all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And dad, going to work, being the powerful one. And she got married, and before she was married, she was very happy with her partner. When she got married, like, then everything fell apart. Why? Because now she was married like her mother.
Right.
And then she ended up having kids, and now big blocks showed up because she never wanted to be like, her mom was. He was the opposite. When he was a little kid, he felt he had to give up everything for mommy. He loved his mommy very much, but she made him do all kinds of things like, doing the dishes, your bed, all these
Right.
things. And because I love my mom, I have to do all these things. So he had associated, loving my wife, Pavlovian bell rings, means that I have to give up on myself. So it creates big challenges in relationships. That's why I would say 99% of the time when I work with couples, either you can have an open heart and not much sex, or great sex, but not much heart connection, because having the both of them subconsciously feels dangerous. So we can
It's very
have
interesting.
yes, and that's why people get discouraged and make all kind. And that's why it's so important to become conscious. And the heart film method allows you to quickly find it. Like just before I did the interview, I was working with one of my favorite clients, and he's amazing. He's been doing lots of work with me, and he came to see me because now he's married and he's got a child, but all of a sudden his sex drive went down, and he was wondering why. But then he realized that he was afraid of, what if I love her with all my heart and we have a great sex life and she dumps me because when I was 17 years old I was not desirable. Like, and he's consciously, he knows it's not true, but you
Right.
cannot go against the subconscious belief. So we did the the session, and he was like, I feel so much better.
Absolutely. It's funny because I've been married twice, and both to narcissistic men, but my father was a narcissist. And I mean,
The pattern continues,
oh,
yes.
absolutely. I attracted into my life exactly what I didn't want.
Hmm.
After I kind of realized what was going on, after, my second husband passed away, I kind of just spoke out loud and said, I'm done with this. Like I see where the
Mhm.
pattern is. I see where I've attracted this. I see
Mhm.
where subconsciously, I seem to feel like this is where I fit in, where this is not where I want to be. I want to be loved, and
Mhm.
I want to love someone I
Mhm.
want someone to love me the way I love them.
Mhm.
Somebody who goes all the way in. And, you know,
Yeah, this is what I say to couples. The aim of a relationship is not to make us happy
mhm,
or miserable. The aim of a relationship is to teach us
right.
how to love ourselves, and how to love others.
Exactly.
And I created a definition of love that's useful. So, love is wanting the best for our partner while respecting our needs.
Mm.
It's always wanting, or for anybody on planet Earth, like whether it's, at the grocery store, at work, or with your spouse or with your kids, it's wishing the best on others while respecting our needs. And once we put ourselves in that equation, then we're safe. Like if you start dating a narcissist, very quickly you start,
Hmm.
I want the best for them, but my needs are not
Not
being
being met.
met. And that's when you go, okay, I'm out of here, not doing this. But like you, because you were conditioned, because you subconsciously associated that kind of situation with love, that's what you thought love was. But love is not that.
Oh,
Like
no,
those,
it's not. And I learned
yeah.
that, especially now with my third relationship, because I manifested exactly the person I wanted, the person I needed.
Mm,
And one of the main things I said in the beginning was it is just as important for you, for me, that you love yourself as much
exactly.
as I love myself. And that
Yeah.
you be given the freedom to be who you are when you need to be, the same way I expect that freedom for myself. And I
hmm
just have the best
Isn't
relationship
it
right
cool?
now.
Yeah. When
It
we have true love, isn't it amazing?
it's so different because it truly tells you, a lot about yourself, because especially when that person is supporting you all the way through everything. And at the same time, I mean, even if I need time to myself, like it's understood and respected.
Mhm.
It,
Yeah. I say a romantic relationship is a spiritual evolutionary tool.
mhm.
The only way we can have true love is by forcing ourselves to put value in ourselves.
Exactly.
It doesn't
Exactly.
work otherwise. So it's a path to enlightenment.
I
Like
had to
you,
love myself first to
yes,
recognize exactly what it was that I needed. And
yes.
it took me a year and a half or two. But once that realization really got smacked into me, because that's what I call it. I call it a spiritual smack, because it really hit me like a lightning bolt of what was going on, what was missing, what I needed. That it just opened up the doorway for
Mhm,
me to take time for myself and
mhm.
then allow for what was supposed to happen organically.
Beautiful. Yes, you got it.
Oh, it's beautiful. Now, I'd like to ask you, I know we don't have too much more time here. Um, I have two more questions I would love to ask you. Let's try and make this quick if you don't mind.
Yep.
Like you mentioned, loving to help parents create more open, loving connections with their children. For
Mhm.
parents in our community who are breaking generational patterns and raising conscious kids, what
Mhm.
subconscious beliefs do they need to address first? And how do we avoid projecting our own unhealed wounds onto our children while still guiding them?
Yes, that's a really, really good question. Um, I created a process I call the extreme freedom process.
Mm,
And it's a tool you can use for your children, with your spouse, with any family member. So, number one, if you think your kids have something wrong, like they don't believe in themselves enough, all right, so they don't believe in themselves enough, what's the solution? Well, they need to know they're worthy of love. That's the second. The third question is, where in my life am I doing this? And then how can I use the solution for them to my own self? So by doing this, you're changing the dynamics between you and your child. So you won't be so reactive anymore. And now you'll be able to come from a place of wisdom. And if you do the heart freedom method on where you're doing the same thing that you see outside of you that's pushing your buttons, it's amazing how quick the transformation happens within the relationship with your child, because it's like the child is your disowned parts, the part about you that you like, the part about you that you dislike. And whenever you take the time to embrace the parts that you don't like in them, and you figure out where you're doing this, and then you heal it through the heart freedom method, wow, then it becomes so much easier to guide your child super easily with wisdom instead of reaction.
So kind of treating them like a mirror as well.
Yes, yes,
And like
exactly.
I love to say that because I'm like, the minute somebody triggers something in you, that is the perfect time for you to self-reflect and say, why is this triggering me? What is it about myself?
Where am I doing that thing that bugs me in them?
Exactly.
I used to call the extreme freedom process the FedEx from the universe. Because when I decided FedEx might not like me using their brand name, but it's really a special delivery from the universe that if you take the time to do the work, will make you a quantum jump into your own self and your transformation. It's actually a real gift.
Right.
As soon as you do this process, like the charge falls apart between you and whoever you're being charged with, and then it transforms your life. It's amazing.
It really is.
And the way I'm like what I'm inspired is like I know by doing parents doing the work, the heart freedom work, and being busy creating heaven on earth for themselves, they become wise and connected to their hearts, and then they can make greater decision. But also, if you can teach your kid and use the heart freedom method with them, like I have one of my coaches, her name is Chelsea, and she has a 4 years old. Well, she's older now, but when she was 4 years old, she had taught her daughter how to do the heart freedom because they had done it so many times on them. And Rosemary was like, at 4 years old, she says, "Hey, mommy, I was in the car and I was, feeling car sick, so I did the heart freedom method."
Aw,
And she says I was okay after.
I
So,
love that.
can you imagine growing up as a child knowing that you are worthy of love, that everything that's happening, because once you become conscious as a parent, you tell them the butterfly in the cocoon story.
Yes.
You tell them, like, okay, how are we going to use this to your advantage? And you challenge them, because if you're a loving parent, you don't want to cocoon your kid because that's the worst thing you can do. Then your kid is not equipped to face life.
I say that all the time.
So yeah, it's the worst thing.
It's
Like my worst
scary.
clients are the ones who were cocoon. So when they're being challenged, you go, all right, how are we going to use this to build your wings? And it
Mm.
transformed the kids. And also, when a parent says that, it means I believe in you, I believe you're strong, I believe you're capable. Like if they don't want to go and do a recital and be on stage because they're scared, if you cocoon them and say, oh, it's okay, you don't have to do it, now you're telling them you don't believe in them.
Right.
So, you can do the heart freedom method and discover why they don't want to be on stage. And then they can be on stage and then they feel like, wow, my mom, my dad, they believe in me. It's so amazing. So they grow up a different kind of kid. They still get challenged, but they get challenged out of inspiration, which is stage 2 living.
Right. Oh, Dr. Lise, before we close, is there one thing, maybe a practice, a question, a shift in
Mhm.
perspective that you would offer to someone listening to this right now who feels stuck, who's done all the right things, but still can't break through?
Well, number one, learn to do the heart freedom method. I'm not kidding. I'm not pushing my work but I
It
know
sounds
because I've
great.
done this. It really gets people unstuck. But the second thing is when you face a challenge, you take a deep breath and you go, since I'm worthy of love, how am I going to use this to my advantage? What is this guiding me to learn? Because when you face a challenge, it's either because you're being asked to master something, because, you know, if you had mastered it, it wouldn't be a challenge.
Correct.
And or two, it's sending you on a path that you become curious about, like, this is guiding me somewhere. So to get out of the pain, I'm being asked to do A, B, or C and become curious. And this is where you need to trust that you're worthy of love and do the appropriate test, because once the test, the appropriate tasks. And when you look back and you go, wow, that was so amazing. I really needed this to follow my heart's purpose.
I love that. Thank you so much. Dr. Lise, I just want to pause and honor you for a moment.
Oh, thank you.
What you've shared today, this wisdom, this depth, this clarity, is going to ripple out to so many souls who've been searching for this missing piece. You've given our community permission to stop chasing external validation and start listening to the wisdom of their own hearts. And that is sacred work. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for walking away from what was comfortable to answer your soul's calling. Thank you
Mm,
for doing this deep work for 22 years plus so that others can break free faster. And thank you for being here with us today in this sacred space. I am so grateful for you.
Thank you for having me.
Loves, if what Dr. Lise shared today resonated with you, if you felt that spark of recognition that, oh my gosh, this is what I've been missing, I want you to do something for me. First, leave a comment below and share. What subconscious belief are you ready to dissolve? What pattern are you ready to break free from? Because when you name it, you claim your power over it. Second, if you know someone who needs to hear this message, someone who's been stuck in the insanity loop, someone who's tired of living from shoulds, someone who's ready to create from their heart, share this episode with them. This is the kind of wisdom that changes lives, and your share might be exactly what someone needs to hear today. And if you're new to Awaken Your Authentic Self community, welcome home. Hit that subscribe button because every week we are diving deep into conversations just like this. Real, raw, transformational wisdom for soul-led seekers who are ready to rise into their fullest expression. All of Dr. Lisa's information, her programs, her book, the Heart Freedom Method, everything is going to be linked in the show's description below. And I encourage you to explore her work if you feel called. And remember, loves, living authentically from your heart in alignment with your soul's truth, that is the highest frequency you can embody. That is how you create heaven on earth. Until next time, keep awakening, keep rising, keep choosing your authentic self. And I'll see you in the next episode.
Wow, you have the perfect voice and the perfect energy. When you say that, I can feel it coming from your heart, from your soul. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Dr. Lise.
Thank you.